Alright, how's everyone doing? My name is Adam Starseed Bey, and today I'm going to talk about the supermoon um, and helping our brothers and sisters, learning from each other, things like that. Because I had a confrontation yesterday. It wasn't a big one, but it was one online. Gotta love the drama of the internet. Hey, how's it going, Amanda? But yeah, so we'll talk about the supermoon first. So yeah, I was able to actually see the lunar eclipse. It was pretty cool for what it was. From where I live at, it was pretty far away, so it wasn't that cool blood moon deal. But it was all right. Um, but one of the trippy things I wanted to record it, but I was so tired. It was like 1 in the morning. Was I was outside and I was looking at the full moon, and man, I swear that not only were the clouds flying really fast this way, but I swear the moon and the stars were going at a really fast speed at the time. But I was tired. I wanted to go back to bed. Then my wife woke me up at I think it was about 5:30 or so, and was like, "Hey, the lunar eclipse is happening." So I woke up, checked it out. It was pretty cool. It was all right. Energies were all right. I didn't really sense anything, but I did have a lot of interesting dreams. Interesting dreams, and a lot of it had to do with spirits, possession. Like there was this one. It was like the church. Like there was this church that was haunted by this older lady, and I was really trying to figure out what was going on in that church in my dream. It was quite intense, and it was definitely revolved around the energies that are going around at this time. Um, but yeah, so I'll talk about my full moon stuff. I always talk about every 15 days. Hey, how's it going, Steven? And then we'll go from there. So this is a time where I make a new moon video to let you guys kind of get a plan set out for your life on what you want to manifest into your life. What is your will and intent? What do you want to manifest? Whether it be business opportunities, whether getting a new job, focusing on your business, focusing on relationships. Are you looking for new things in your relationship? Are you looking for a new relationship? Do you want to build upon the relationship you're in? Just different things like that. That's what the new moon is designed for, and that's what I utilize in my life, and then I share that with you guys. So with this full moon, this is your chance to look at your manifestation process. Of what have I manifested? Did I receive the new job I was looking for? Did I get that business opportunity I was looking for? Whether it be a raise or start up a business of some kind. Relationships. Did you start a new relationship? Are things going good in your relationship? Just different things like that. Just paying attention to your life. Planning your life out. We all learn new things daily. I definitely go through stuff myself. Sometimes I question, why does this stuff happen? But everything happens for a reason. And that's one of the key things, that I learn and others learn, is that, things happen in our life for a reason. Our will and intent that we send out there, causes the cause and effect scenario. So then we can learn from others and learn from each other and ourselves. Hey, how's it going, David? And that's one of the key things, utilizing the 12 to 15 day planner for the new moon to full moon, and then full moon to new moon again. Just paying attention to your life and observing your life, is definitely key. That we all gotta always definitely pay attention. Life can get so chaotic, especially in the work environment, or just have a family and friends and all that stuff. We never really take that time to ourselves. So it's definitely time just to reflect on your life. Definitely. So yeah, so with this super moon, man, everybody's been hyping this thing like crazy. Was it like a super blood blue moon, right? I think the last one that happened was like 135 years ago. And then with like the lunar eclipse and all that was like 82 or something like that, 1982, somewhere down the road, somewhere around there. So I've been just reading all these comments and everything, and be like, oh man, this is such a huge turning point in humanity, right? But I just been observing. I'm like, man, we've had lots of blood moons with the same comments, and we've had lots of, we've had some super moons as well, and definitely hype gets built around all these events. And definitely a lot of end time stories always come up. Oh, this is that Revelations, that turning point. Christ is coming back and things like that. We got to slow down with that, with observing that thing. So many people are like, oh man, what should I do with this super blood moon? What should I meditate? What should I be looking for? Everything is so focused on outside. So many people focus on the outside self, paying a lot of attention to the stars, paying a lot of attention to astronomy, different things like that. We definitely need to pay attention to what's going on in the sky, because there's a lot going on up there. There definitely is a lot going on. But we can't lose focus. We can't lose focus within ourselves. We got to maintain that self-reflection, the inner healing, inner growing, and that constant healing. I've been talking about forgiveness, faith and forgiveness, and learning about forgiveness. Learning it's not just a tool of oh man, I did something bad, will you forgive me scenario. It's giving back. People don't know what they do. So you just need to learn to forgive them from a heart standpoint, from an energy standpoint, so then you can be clear within yourself. Clarity is key in one's life, definitely. I'm friends with some astronomers and energy workers and light workers and things like that, and these supermoon things and stuff like that become a big deal in a lot of people's life. Hey, how's it going, Matt? And definitely a lot of people get absorbed. So I decided to try to comment, because one of my jobs here is to learn from each other, as well as create conversation. That's one of the key things, is to create conversations, different viewpoints. When you see the same scenario over and over again in comments, definitely change it up. Don't feel you need to stick up for yourself. And I definitely been at that situation too. Be like, oh man, I gotta stick up for myself. People are not getting what I'm saying, but you just gotta just stand your ground and say, hey, this is what I'm observing. So everybody was so absorbed into the supermoon of, yeah, man, this is going to be the most awesomest turning point in the world. And then they got the whole 6 months all figured out, right? They got the whole energy stream all figured out based on astronomy and things of that nature. And I'm like, for one, we really need to just focus on the now and look at, let's see, Matt saying, what's up, man? What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about the supermoon, and learning how to work with our brothers and sisters. Different perceptions. So they were all focused on that, and I'm like, we really need to focus on the now, and really pay attention to, why are we focusing so much energy on the moon, right? Why are we focusing so much energy on the moon? And just like myself, when I talk about the new moon and the full moon, I'm not talking about doing a ritual with energy and things like that. It's just a planner. It's just a planner for your life. Just something to look at. Oh, hey, it's a full moon. Oh, yeah, I remember Adam was saying something about I should look at my life. It's a key point, to look at. It's just those little trigger points that help you along your path. That's one of my jobs here. Is just to help you guys through the journey that we all go through. Planning everything out. So I was saying, we need to live in the moment, And there's a lot of controversy and a lot of almost facts about the moon. Is the moon even real anymore? Is it artificial? Is it a hologram? Thinking outside the box with this, because there has been so many blood moons, and this super moon, blue moon, eclipse, lunar eclipse, all these scenarios, it almost looks man-made, or to the point where, even from a science perception, there's something just not right about it. There's something just not right about it. And after, at least for me personally, after 2012, 2013, the moon doesn't look the same. Even now, I can go outside and look at the moon. It just doesn't look the same. It's not what I remember when I was a kid. Or even in my teenage years, there's just something different. Even with the stars. I remember there being so many stars in the sky, but now it just seems like there's very few stars. Very few stars in the sky. It's just being the observer, not taking everything for granted, or taking what people say for granted. If somebody says, this is the energy wave for 6 months, are you going to follow that? Or are you going to do your own research and feel it out? Everybody's energy, how we perceive energy is different. How we observe things is different. And that's what I put in those comments. And one of the people who were writing comments was stating, hey, you guys need to not be fighting, right? Because the guy was the main topic person. And this person viewed what I said in a negative manner and thought we were fighting. And I was like, okay. So I was like, what do you mean by that? And next thing I know, that person blocked me right away. Not the person that made the main topic, but the person that wrote the comment of "don't fight with each other." And boom, instantly that person blocked me, and all the messages I saw were gone. And I'm like, wow, wow, why do people do that? Why do people not want to talk things out? Why do people feel once there's just a slightest hint of a disagreement or an argument, why can't people handle it? This is one of the main problems with our youth right now. Everything is all social media based. Everybody's on their phones. I mean, my kids, they know technology like nothing else. And, we got kids that are 10, 8, 7 years old. That's all they know is texting and everything like that. People are expressing their feelings online and everything like that, but they're not expressing themselves physically to the world. Better understanding their emotions and learning how to work with each other. Creating an anxiety type structure. Anxiety is a huge thing. A lot of people are going through anxiety right now. And that's, we can't ignore that. So when that person blocked me, right, I'm like, that's what I need to talk about. That's what I need to talk about. We have to learn on how to grow and learn from each other. We're all brothers and sisters. We have to view things as, whether you've been in a big household, if you have, blood brothers and sisters, that you go through arguments and fights, and you got to learn how to work with each other and help each other out, things like that. That's how blood brothers and sisters work out. And as a whole, as we are on this earth, we got to do the same thing. We got to do the same thing. No more dividing. That's why I have a hard time with the word resonating, because if you don't resonate, boom, you turn it off. Which is fine, but we got to still learn from each other. We got to learn different perceptions. Riche says, yes, not as many stars. So see, we're noticing that there's definitely something different that's going on out there. And Steven says, deep programming is why many people do what they do or don't do what they need to be doing, or what they need to do within. Yes, definitely. And that brings another good question too. In that comment I said was, with these moons and all these sequences that are taking place, is it a matrix hack? Is it a matrix hack? Is a matrix restructuring itself? Again, thinking outside the box. Are these signs that the matrix is changing, and we're more and more realizing we're in some kind of holographic world or holographic projection? It's there's just something just not, it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me, and I really prayed and meditated about it yesterday, and even today. Things just aren't right, and it brings me back to the end of 2012. There was definitely something that happened. With me personally. The energies were really wild and crazy, and I was just laying in my bed, and my wife was just sleeping, and I was just praying and meditating, feeling the energies out, and it just was such a weird feeling. Everything. I was in the dark. All the lights were out, and everything just had a blue haze, and I was just asking for healing and protection, things like that. And what I ended up seeing was these golden beings surrounding my bed. And they ended up putting a golden shield around my bed, right? But it wasn't just around my bed; it was around the whole house. And it was very, very vivid, very detailed. It felt like they were physically there. It wasn't just some kind of third eye projection, or just kind of like a meditation stance. It felt like they were really there. They were protecting me, and it almost felt like I was teleported to a different state, or there'd be a different Earth or whatnot. But my life has never really been the same since. Things have changed, and it makes me really wonder. And I definitely would use the word wonder, because I don't have the answers. None of us really have the answers to everything. But it really makes me wonder if I was teleported to some form of a hologram Earth, or maybe a ship within itself. There's definitely been talks that maybe a lot of us have been transported to a ship because of the way that Earth is. And then it brings up all the other theories of, hey, if we're watching the news and stuff, are we watching the news from the old Earth that we were on, but we're really on a ship, so we're just kind of observing the Earth through TV, right? Because I'm in a small town. I don't ever see president live. I don't see the things that are going on around the world. The only way I know if something is real from a natural disaster phenomenon, things like that, is just if I'm friends on Facebook and they talk about the scenario. I'm like, oh, okay. So, it must be real. But, we don't know. All we got going on right now is just our personal experiences and what we're going through. And then, if we go on vacation and stuff, adventure out to a big city or something like that, then we can observe the energy. Then we can know, hey, at least in this big city that I haven't been into a while, I know what's going on at this time. I know what's going on at this time. And we really need to observe it in that manner, not take everybody's words literally, or get ourselves overhyped. That's another thing, is overhyping ourselves with all these energy waves coming through. We got to just stay grounded and learn and observe from each other. And just pay attention. I'm friends with people on Facebook. A lot of them have different perceptions and views on life. And, I hang in there. I talk with each one, and, they express their viewpoints. I express mine. Sometimes arguments happen. And that tests and builds that friendship, with that person. They're going to either be cool with you, or or they'll defriend you. It's just like that. And one of the famous things I always do is I always write a comment if they do defriend me. I'm like, what's the reason for defriending me? And sometimes they'll block me. Sometimes they'll just state, they just don't resonate with me anymore, which is that key word again, resonate. So what happens? We can't be scared to adventure to new territories. We can't be just isolated uh, in old perception and in old viewpoints. Just like myself, I read the Bible. I have a strong faith and a walk with Christ in my life. And that's my foundation. It doesn't mean that I'm church based and everything by the book. I'm learn and grow and I keep things open. We have to have an open mind, especially around this time. I mean, man, I was just reading a news article about this a 4-year-old, okay, a 4-year-old making a decision for a sex change or just wanted to be the opposite sex. A 4-year-old, okay, a 4-year-old. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's staged. What's going on? But last I checked, when my kids were 4 years old, that was the last thing on their mind was sexual preference. There has to be some kind of influence for a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old. Oh, this drives me nuts. For a 4-year-old to make this decision. That's just too young. That's too young. Ahead of had an influence from the parents. An influence from the parents to help that child make that decision. If our kids decide to do stuff, that's fine. But a 4-year-old, no, I don't. It just doesn't add up. It don't add up. And it's things like that. Is that we have to be aware of learning, but not be succumb to the influence of, oh, this person's doing this, I need to do this, right? This person's doing this, I need to do this. No, you take what you learn from someone and then you build it upon your life. You build it upon your life. And with the children and parent thing, us as parents or even as adults, we're role models for children. We're role models for teenagers. We have to be that voice. Our voice matters. And we have to be an inspiration to each other. And let people know, hey, yes, you need to make your own decisions in your life. But you also have to make, I know I'm getting off topic here, but you also have to make a responsible decision. There's so many teenagers, but more importantly, so many adults that have a mind of a teenager, that rebellious mind that doesn't want to listen to people, don't want to listen to authority. In the balanced manner, right? Because I know there's a lot of people complaining about cops and things like that. A freedom of expression is a huge one right now. Freedom of expression, which is fine. If you want to live your life a certain way, that's fine. But don't make a big deal out of it of creating these protests and things like that, because that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything, or being a positive role model. That's also a thing that is missing, is that role model perception. And so many people get mad about that. Who cares about the role model thing? We are free to express ourselves. That's always the answer. We are free to express ourselves. No listening to somebody else's viewpoint or learning how to work with each other. They're all set in their ways and like, this is it. I want to be a freedom of expression. No one's going to stop me. I'm going to make my uh, perception known to the world, right? Known to the world in a forceful way, And then people who are still searching through life are going to follow these. Oh, well, I feel the same way as they do, I'm still learning about myself, but, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go to this protest. As a follower, it generates that following and a lack of leadership within your life. But anyways, I'm getting way off topic now. But again, there's so much to talk about, and definitely a lot of things that really need to be addressed as well, just like what I just talked about. So yeah, so at the end of the day, we really have to help our brothers and sisters out. And there's a lot of scriptures that I was just looking at and observing. And I kind of made little bookmarks here, so bear with me on these. But I got a guideline here, so it kind of lets me know exactly what I am wanting to read. So we'll start off with the ones I wrote, and then we'll go from there. So let's just bear with me here. Alright, so we're going to Galatians chapter 6. So, brothers, if a man is overtaken in some trespass, you, the spiritual ones, put such a one straight in a spirit of meekness, looking at yourself, lest be tried too. Bear one another's burdens, and so complete the Torah of Mashiach, the Messiah. For if anyone thinks himself to be somebody when he is not, he deceives himself. Okay? Keyword. For if anyone thinks himself to be somebody when he is not, he deceives himself. But let each one examine his own work, and then he shall have boasting in himself alone, a boasting, and not in another. For each one shall bear his own burden, and let him who is instructed in the words share in all that is good with him who is instructing. Do not be led astray. Elohim Almighty is not mocked, for whatever a man sows, that he shall also reap. Because he who sows to his own flesh shall reap corruption from the flesh, but he who sows to the Ruah shall reap everlasting from the Ruah. Keyword there, Ruah, which is the Spirit, okay? So Ruah is a spirit. But he who sows to the Spirit shall reap everlasting from the Spirit. And let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not grow weary. Which means don't give up. Don't give up. So then, as we have occasion, let us do good to all, especially to those who are of the household of the belief. See with what big letters I have written to you with my own hand. As many as went to make a good show in the flesh, these compel you to be circumcised. Okay? As many as want to make a good show in the flesh, these compel you to be circumcised. Those who are expressing themselves in a way that can be foolish in some degree, only so that they should not be persecuted for the sake of Mashiach. For those who are circumcised do not even watch over the Torah, but they want to have you circumcised so that they might boast in your flesh. And for me, let it not be that I should boast except in the stake of our Adon, Yeshua, HaMashiach, Savior, Messiah, through whom the world has been impelled to me, and I to the world. For in Mashiach, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision has any strength, but a renewed creature. And as many as walk according to this rule, peace and compassion be upon them, and upon the Israel of the Elohim Almighty. From now on, let not one be troubled, For I bear in my body the scars of the Odin, Yeshua. The favor of our Odin, Yeshua, HaMashiach, be with your spirit, brothers and sisters. Amen. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Alright, I got some stuff going on here. What do we got going on? Okay. Not sure what's going on with that. Alright. So, let's see. What else we got here? Rashia says, I hope I say that right. Yes, where there is love, there is unity. And they also say a holographic dream state. And that's the thing is, if we truly love ourselves and others that we talk to, if they love us, that will unite us. But if we push people away, block people, turn people off, that is a lack of love. That is a lack of love and respect for each person. We have to love and respect each person for what they do, and for what they may not do. Right? That is a true sign of love. Love is respecting everyone for who they are and learning from each other. Not pushing people away. That's so very important. So very important. Within our guides, in our lives, that we just gotta quit pushing people away. And I'll always constantly talk about that. Quit pushing people away. It does no good to anybody. Excuse me. All right. Also, go ahead and read Luke. Here, we'll see what it says here. Luke 10, chapter 38. I already get myself some color coding so I can get all these chapters easily read. Alright, 38 here. Alright. And it came to me as they went that he entered to a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Miriam, who also sat at the feet of Yeshua and heard his word. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and coming up, she said, Adon, which means master, are you not concerned that my sister has left me to serve alone? Speak to her then to help me. And Yeshua answering said to her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about much, but one only is necessary, and Miriam has chosen the good portion, which shall not be taken away from her. And basically, it's a little different in this translation, but basically, what this means is, pay attention. If someone was helping you and then leaves, and you got so much going on in your mind, which this is also what I'm learning myself, pay attention to what is necessary in your life. Pay attention to what needs to be taken care of first. If you're having trouble in your relationship, take care of that first. If that's the main priority, take care of that first. You're having trouble in your business, focus on that first. Fix it first. Pay attention to what needs to be your focus first. Take care of it, nurture it, train it, and then move forward. Don't carry the burdens of everything all at once. And this is something that I'm learning myself. Pay attention to the details that need to be taken care of first. It's definitely key, and that's why I save this here, because it's definitely important. That we need to work together as brothers and sisters, but we also have to make sure that we maintain a structure of paying attention to what is important in our life. Definitely. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Somewhere in here. Let's see what we got going on here. I got so many things bookmarked in here. Definitely get lost. Looks like I'll actually read Leviticus, so we'll go ahead and we'll read there and see what it says. Let's see here. Leviticus 19:17. Guard my laws. Do not let your livestock mate with another kind. Do not sow your field with mixed seed, and do not put a garment woven of two sorts of thread upon you. And when a man, let me see here. Okay. When a man, actually I'm reading that wrong. Oops. 1917. There we go. I was reading something else, but actually that was actually pretty good right there. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain, and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people, and you shall love your neighbors as yourself. I am Yahweh Almighty. So again, same thing. I'm going to go ahead and stop reading that. That's going to kind of confuse everybody, including myself. But again, we just got to help our brothers and sisters. We got to listen to each other. Don't carry the burden of what people are going through, but just be there as a listener, as a guide. Just like I'm doing here. Whoever tunes into this, this is meant for you. Something in this video is meant for you. And you guys who are commenting, there's stuff meant for me as well here. We're all learning from each other. We're all building a family. That's one of the things I've been noticing. Is if we don't fit in one family, there's definitely families that we build with each other. We build with each other. We have regulars that tune in. Like my brother Matt here. He definitely checks what's going on with me. I see what's going on with him. And then we also have other brothers and sisters we check out. And as a whole, that generates a family. We create a family. Even if we don't work out, if we don't communicate with each other in person, we're building a family on social media. And that's one of the key things, is that we have different experiences, but we have shared experiences, and we learn from each other, and that builds a family, and that builds a foundation. And that's one of the key things that I'm seeing is building that family and sticking together as a family, sticking together. If you have viewers that tune in all the time, boom, they're part of your family. Accept them. They're your brother and sister. Communicate with them, learn from each other, ask questions, and just say, hey, I'm going to this thing, you want to come check it out with me. Build a family. We definitely have to build a family. We have to unite. And uniting, is love, and it's also expressing, that we have diverse ways of thinking. We definitely have to stick with each other. Definitely got to stick with each other. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and end on that. I haven't been talking very long. I feel like I've been talking forever. But yeah, so at the end of the day, definitely pay attention to what's happening now. Don't get focused so much on the surroundings of what's going on. There's definitely a lot of distractions. A lot more distractions are going to take place. I definitely do feel that we're definitely going to be having a lot of interesting phenomenons happening around us. A lot of phenomenons. I was watching something about Salt Lake City, about a lot of birds being found dead, just falling out of the sky. Birds just falling out of the sky, right? And this phenomenon's been happening all over the place, from fish, lots of dead fish, and things like that. Things falling from the sky. What's causing that? This is a phenomenon. This is a phenomenon. A lot of it, from what I'm researching, a lot of it has to do with waves. These towers that provide us with cell phone technology and digital technology. It's hurting our planet. They're messing with wrong frequencies. There is definitely frequencies we need to be generating, but the frequencies that the powers that be are sending out are not good. If this kind of frequencies is killing life, it's definitely not the frequency that we want. We want frequency to generate life, to make our life our life healthier. You look through vibrations, you look through frequencies of music and things like that. You have really high vibrational music. I'm not good with hertz, but I know the higher the hertz and the balance the hertz, it can definitely heal your body. Plants is a good way of looking at things. You talk nice to a plant, you give plant good vibrations through music, it grows and matures, and it becomes a healthy plant. But if you talk negative to it, you neglect it, it dies. It dies and it withers away. It's all part of vibrations. And right now, the planet is being fed negative vibrations, which is why we're, seeing all these deaths with animals around us. So again, I'm not experiencing it myself personally, but it's out there, it's around, it's definitely around, and there's people on the internet that talk about it that I'm friends with. So therefore, I definitely know that there's some truth to that matter. So that's definitely, again, where we have to unite. We have to pray. We got to meditate, and just send that healing energy out. It starts with us. The healing starts with us. Once you learn how to heal and balance our lives out, then we can help each other out and then balance their lives as well. Again, it's all about helping our brothers and sisters. So yeah, I could keep talking on and on and on. But it looks like I don't have any questions or anything. So if there is, definitely give a shout out now. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and end it on this. So yeah, so love yourself, keep shining bright. Realize that your voice matters. Make videos, guys. Make videos. Share your story. And me personally, definitely is a chore to get in front of the camera and know what to say and when to say it. But you just gotta just roll with the flow. Just let your voice be heard. Just whatever the spirit shows you. Just listen to it. Work with it. If Christ tells you, hey, you need to talk about this, talk about it. Just express what's on your mind. Share your story. Share your past experiences, what you went through. Yeah, man, because your story is going to be an inspiration. Whether if you had a little story or a really big story, it's there for people. Our experiences are there to inspire others. That's the whole point. The whole point of this, is to learn. This whole life is a school. And we definitely lack the right schools that we need, right? We don't have no real spiritual schools, right? We got the churches we can go to, but that's such a curriculum-based mechanics. It doesn't really teach us other things. We can go learn how to be a Buddha and learn more about the spirit, but again, it has its own curriculum. You can't think outside the box. So we definitely need to make schools, just like School of the Mystics, that my brother, Truth Seeker, Derek, is doing every Thursday. We definitely got to do that. And I want to get my school going as well, so we can focus more on our empathic abilities and learning how that works. Learning what the third eye is, learning how to use our imagination and building upon that. I need to start that myself. We need to get these schools out there. So yeah, I definitely need to work on that, getting that out there as well. So I'm going to have to play around with Google Hangout so I can get used to it again. I remember it's an invite-based, so I believe I had to send out a lot of invites, and then it starts from there. So I'll definitely see if I can get these Google Hangouts going. I know I've been talking about it, so I got to just get it going so we can start having fun, because, yeah, it's so much fun just using our empathic abilities, seeing if we're in tune, and go from there. We learn so much from within us. That's where our true teachers are. Our true masters are is within. That's what Christ teaches us. To go within. The kingdom of heaven is within. The Almighty is within. Everything is within. It's uncanny. It's truly uncanny. Just everything that we can do, everything that we ask for in life is within us. We need healing. Boom, it's within us. It's always been within us. People look towards others for healing when all along it's always been within them. It's always been within them. So yeah, so self-healing is key. Faith, forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge. I'll never stop talking about that. Forgiveness is huge in all ways. So yeah, so love yourself. Keep shining bright. Thanks to those who tuned in. Definitely shows I have a lot more viewers, but I have no idea who's watching. So thank you all for tuning in. And I will be on again hopefully soon. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. All right. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Shalom. I'll talk to you in a little bit.